it done, didn't? And then the guy started laughing, and they had a good little funny exchange about it. But yeah, I guess he had 2 houses next to one another, and one was for working and shooting and doing all stuff, and then the one he lived in. So I think they were working on the other one.
People do that sometimes. Because I know people who, they're not in the industry, but they have 2 houses next to each other because they say the guests can stay there. They don't want the guests in their house.
That's where the in-laws.
Yeah, and one's just for work,
stay
man.
at the other house.
Yeah. My dad used to work for the city. He was a building and safety inspector, but he's retired now.
And he was inspecting the house for David?
Yeah, and they were pulling permits and doing some work over there. So my dad was
And where was this? Was this
Los Angeles?
Beverly Hills, Bel Air? Where was this?
Probably Bel Air, I'm sure.
Nice.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Tiffany.
Hi. My lipstick look okay? I mean,
Yeah.
smear?
Yeah, we are
My mom's calling me hilarious.
We are live. So welcome back
Sorry, Mom.
to Filter 90211. I'm Tiffany Rothman. I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Chris Slone, and our guest, Holly Lynch.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Hello, Holly.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, well, you know, he invited you. I told him not to invite beautiful women to this show, and he doesn't listen.
Holly is a talented actress, model, photographer. She's been working in the industry since she was like 14 years old, and I'm excited to have her here. She's got a lot of in-depth industry knowledge, but we had some discussions before the show, and I think we got some good thoughts and ideas to talk about today. So Holly, I'm so glad you can spend part of your Sunday with Tiffany and I. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I love to inform and talk about my career and what I know, you know, what knowledge I can pass on to somebody that's just getting in the business. So it's always nice to talk about that kind of stuff.
You know, I got to ask, how did you get to this point? Because it's a tough career and a tough industry.
Oh, yeah.
You know, give us a little bit about how everything started with you. I always love to hear really how people get started in the business and in the entertainment industry, because I don't think there's really one textbook that could explain it.
Not even. Everyone has their own story of how it happened to them. Mine, I guess, began at an early age where everyone wanted me to get into modeling. All my teachers were like, your daughter, you should get her into modeling. And I always wanted to do it, but my parents were dead set against it. You know, they did not have, you know, the best thoughts of the business, and they thought it was a little bit ugly and things can happen, which obviously then we know that's true. So I think it was when I was 15, a waitress at a Coco's came up to us and said, I'm a photographer and I would love to take pictures of your daughter. And I was like, oh yes, let's do this. And so my mom finally let me do it, and the pictures came out really good, and I told my mom I wanted to at least model. You know, acting wasn't really on the table, and I wasn't thinking that way. I was just wanting to do the modeling stuff. And they took me to an open call, and then they sent me to an agency, and then that's kind of like where it all began.
And did the agency kind of depict where they felt you should enter and how you should enter the industry? Did they tell you these are the types of jobs you're going to do?
Nothing like that. I had a list of probably 15 agencies, and every single one turned me down, except the last one, which was the biggest one. I made it last because I thought they would turn me down. I was too short. I wasn't commercial enough, blah, 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 all these things. But yeah, they told me that I would be good at it. And they took a chance on me.
You just have to know where to go for your self-worth.
Right. Well, if you have parents that don't know where to go, and we didn't have any guidance, it's not like we had like a coach or
oh yes, I know,
you know, some sort of agent already to guide us, or a manager. So we just went bumping around to all the agencies and did those open calls, and one just decided to take a chance on me. But you know, my parents had to fork out $300 for like my first test shoot, and they were like, she should cut her hair. I got my eyebrows done, and my dad thought that was crazy. Like that was insane to him. Like, oh my God, they're doing all these weird things to her face, and that's so Hollywood. But yeah, my first pictures, I still have them. They're still some of my favorites. And that just kind of started everything, and I just started working immediately right after that.
That's wonderful.
auditioning. And I was still in school. I was still in high
That's
school.
wonderful.
How did you handle that at that age? I think, that would be very stressful.
I don't think I was stressed out. I mean, I was nervous in the beginning because obviously being in front of clients and they're staring you down and you're just like, am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I skinny? I just never really had that type of pressure before. But I don't know. I just kind of fell into it really and just started going full throttle right after that. And it's a couple times on set, you get used to it. So, it's, my mom would take me out of last period sometimes to hit my auditions because I started having a lot back then. And,
Well, that I would like, getting out of school.
right?
Early.
I think that the last class was history or something, if I remember. So I hated that class. So I was always happy to get out of there and hit a callback. But what was hard about the whole thing is that the girls in my school found out that I was doing all of this and started to treat me like garbage and started to beat me up.
Sounds like Mean
Oh
Girls.
my God.
Yeah, it became like a bullying
how
situation.
did they find out? You told them? How did they find out?
I was just talking to my friend about this. There's one friend from high school I still talk to. Her name's Vanessa Wright, and she's amazing. My first print job was a full ad in Teen Magazine, like one of those Teener Bopper magazines, and it was
Like
really
Teen
beauty.
Beat?
Yeah, one of those things. It was like a beauty ad, and we all got that magazine back then. So she took it out and put it in her locker and told everyone, "Look at Holly's in this magazine."
Oh,
and she
boy.
was so proud of me, and I thought that was
Yeah.
so nice. But then I was like, "Oh no!" And that's how everyone found out what I was doing because I wasn't running around telling anybody. And also, like, I didn't wear any makeup. I was not the pretty girl in school, so that came as a surprise for people. Like, "Oh, she's a modeling. You're a model. You're trying to model."
So did they, for the modeling work, put makeup on you then? And did they
Oh,
make
yeah.
you up?
Yeah.
So did you look different than how you would have looked in class?
Yeah. Yeah, because and another thing is we had uniforms that year. So we were all looked, I had the khakis.
So
and
this is a
the
private
polo.
school?
It was a private school, yeah.
There's even more peer pressure, I think, in the private schools. Don't
Is
you
it a
think?
Catholic school?
It was a Lutheran school. But we were
Yeah,
Christian,
it's
not
Christian,
Lutheran.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Christian
it's
parochial
all
school.
same stuff, yeah.
Can be tough.
It was interesting. But
So emotionally,
Yeah.
how do you handle that at that age emotionally? About you got your friends or your schoolmates kind of getting on you with things, and
Yeah.
it's just another way for them to get to you,
Right.
As kids can do, right?
right.
So how are you handling now this new career that you have at such a young age, the pressure of that, and then now you got to go to school every day and face
Deal with that.
and deal with what you were talking about? How did you handle that?
I just saw a future in it. So I was just thinking of the end goal. Like, I'm not going to be with these people very much longer. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to, I just want to work. I want to, travel the world. I mean, what really wanted me to do this was I was watching one of those MTV shows. Remember how they did those, in style shows? And I remember them being in, Germany or something. I'm like, wow, they're my age and they're in Germany and they're, making money. And I was like, I just want to do that. So these kids... Yeah, it was terrible, and I hated going to that school. And in fact, I told my mom I didn't want to go back for my senior year, so I ended up being homeschooled the last year.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I, thank you, got homeschooled and got the hell out of there and just focused on living abroad and just learning new things and just getting away from all of that. So I just, yeah,
That's tough too.
it was crazy. I
they
don't know
shouldn't
how
allow
I
to.
did it.
Yeah, they shouldn't allow to be mean to you that way.
Yeah, I mean, they all, you do it behind teachers' backs. So what were they supposed to do?
It sounds like you had a maturity to yourself, though, at that
Yes.
age. You're looking at the big picture. You understand what you want. You decided, hey, maybe I don't want to be here at this school. And it seemed like you were starting to take control of your life at an early age.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my home life kind of played a part in that. My mom is amazing, but she has bipolar. So that played a huge part in my upbringing there for a while. And I think that just put me into a different category mentally, and I was just, just dealing with that at home, and just, I guess the maturity there just kind of, that changed me.
How was it to grow up with your mother then with
I mean,
that?
Yeah.
It was tough. It was tough at times, because we didn't really know what was going to happen or what was going on. One days she was fine, other days she was not. And you're just, while these kids are worrying about makeup and boys, I'm sitting here thinking about my mom and my job and just, I get that's mature stuff, right?
Yes,
so you grow up.
yeah.
You're worrying about other things that aren't just so on the surface. So
what
these
about
people
your-
weren't my friends anyways because we had totally different interests. And
Yeah.
obviously by the time I went to Asia for the first time, they were still in high school finishing their last year. And when I came back, we had nothing to talk about because at this point I was learning about different cultures and different religions and just kind of surpassed all of that stuff.
Where is this? Los Angeles or?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm born and
okay.
raised in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's
So this was in the
interesting.
Valley area.
Mhm. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not too far from me.
No.
Yeah. And how was your father handling the whole thing? You deal
My
with
dad
it?
is amazing.
Oh, you're
Like
lucky.
my
You're
dad is
very lucky,
amazing.
yeah.
He's an angel. He stood by my mom's side and he took care of us, and we never wanted for nothing. I think I had a better home life situation, even though what was happening, than most of my friends who were divorced or
Yep.
parents are fighting or horrible people. My dad is amazing.
You're lucky. And grandparents too?
Yep. Parents are still married. My grandma's 93. It's like
Lucky
we have.
you.
Yeah, I'm lucky. Great home
That's
life,
wonderful.
great people. Yeah, I
That's
still
wonderful.
see my parents all the time. They live 25 minutes from me, so I'm always up there hanging out, playing cards.
That's really...
Seems like you definitely have your strength from your parents and your dad. And did you understand at a young age what bipolar disorder was?
No idea. I just knew that my mom wasn't my mom at times, and it was obvious. You can see it kind of like in the eyes that person's not there, present at that moment. So I knew that going into it. And then, obviously as you get older and you kind of learn what was really going on and what was happening, and my mom can actually talk to me about it, then I realized, wow, my parents are a lot stronger and cooler, than I was even initially thinking. They're amazing.
You know what? Some people think that everybody's bipolar. It doesn't matter. It's how you handle it.
Yeah.
You could be lovely. You could use that tool with a lot of things.
Yeah.
And your father definitely understand that.
Yeah. He taught us, the value of marriage, of a good relationship, how a father can, should be. He was a great example. And my parents' marriage is also something I look up to a lot.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And they supported me through all this craziness of me choosing this lifestyle. And, my mom would always cry when I would go to Asia or go abroad, because I'd be gone for a long time. But, they supported me. My mom even stole a display. It was my first campaign for Njinga. And she stole the cardboard thing. I actually just posted about it recently because I found it in my storage bin, but it was pretty funny. My mom was a very proud mom, so she always had all my photos, and she's
beautiful.
still very supportive.
I was just looking at. It reminded me of the movie The Three Faces of Eve, if you remember that
Never
movie,
seen it.
1957, and of course that was being back in the 50s when. Disorders weren't really recognized for what they really were.
Right.
They were more perceptions. And, that movie, in my opinion, starts to really focus on bipolar disorder. Like you said, how you mentioned that when you would look in her eyes, it wasn't her.
Yeah.
They become almost a different person.
Yeah. Against their will,
And how did your dad handle that?
With grace and love and all the good stuff. I never saw him really, being weak at any point about all of this. He's like, I took that oath through sickness and through health, and I'm just, he just played that part so beautifully and gracefully, and he still does. He's amazing.
You're very lucky.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should have him on this show.
Right?
Talk about the values of marriage.
Yeah, and just, being through that and dealing with that. And then obviously, I'm having this career that he knows nothing about, and my brother was sort of acting out in a different way, and just he held it all together. It's pretty awesome.
Do you think that helped prepare you for the industry that you were venturing into, being able to
what, I never really thought about that.
have courage and strength and confidence in yourself?
Yeah, actually I really never really thought about that, but yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Because if that didn't happen, would you be a different person? And if you were a different person, how would you have adjusted to the industry of Hollywood and entertainment and modeling? And it's a very it could be a very selfish industry.
Yes.
It could be a very self-imposing industry, and when I think about the industry, I think it's a bit apropos when we talk about what you went through with your mother and what
Right.
your father went through as well. And then when you look at the industry that you are in, there's kind of some similarities.
Right.
And those similarities cross between your personal life and your professional life.
Yeah.
And so my thought then is, how have you evolved as a person from back in the beginning to where you're at now? And what's changed? Because I believe at times we leave a piece of us behind because we grow out of ourselves and into a different type of person. And some people leave more behind than others. So how are you now compared to back then, and how much of yourself have you left behind?
Oh man.
Kind of a deep question,
That is
isn't
a
it?
crazy. That's like an hour-long conversation just in itself, right there. I mean, you change with the business too, right? The business is a completely different beast now than it was when I was really doing it, and in that 15-year period there. You got to have tough skin, for sure. There's so many rejections. I mean, you get your door slammed in your face more than it's open for you, right? The highs and the lows. You work in, you're not working. You're not getting called, an agent drops you. Oh my God. It's like, I feel like I'm definitely more of a harder person. Maybe a little innocence left behind in some things, but oh man, because I really didn't go to college. Like, living abroad and just jumping right into this business was college tenfold in life. The things that I've learned and the opportunities I've had and the people I've worked with and everything that I've been through and seen. I'm still trying to figure out like who I am now, after all the dust has been settled from all of that. Because I feel like obviously transitioning from more being in front of the camera to behind the camera and taking all those lessons that I've learned and using them for now in my talents doing photography has been a change for sure, because I'm used to being in front of the camera too. I do miss it from time to time, but also there's so many things that like I would take then that I won't now. So I say no to a lot of work. I pass on a lot of jobs. So there's a little more self-respect now with what I have to offer and what I give, and I respect myself enough to ask for something in return, on all of that. But I don't know. That's just there's so much more there, conversation-wise.
What's it
It's a
like
lot.
being behind the camera versus in front of the camera? What's your experience with the differences of how you feel, and compare and contrast the two?
Jeez. Well, I definitely feel a lot less self-conscious. I don't feel like I have to look a certain way or be a certain way than I was before. I've realized how much I was I just kind of don't care as much now, but in a good way. I remember my mom always saying, "Oh, when you turn this age, you're gonna eat and you're gonna be able to eat what you want and say and do what you need to do and wear those sweatpants if that's what you want to wear." It's like, it's pretty funny, and I was always expected to act and look a certain way. So now it's like, oh, I can dye my hair whatever color I want, and eat that thing without thinking about it, but I miss being in front of the camera. It's different. I like being behind it and just giving confidence to people. And I remember what it felt like to like have that moment where you're like, man, that was good, or that picture came out great. And it's like, I remember getting the highs from that. And so it's weird when you don't have that. And any actor out there knows what I'm talking about, when they're on set and just how it makes them feel in the job they're doing, and when they see the results of it, and just, you're playing with other actors and you're learning from them. And I do miss the energy of all of that stuff. And how it made me feel. So when you're you have more control of being on the other side of the camera. And I love, the best part of my job is just giving someone that doesn't have that much confidence, because this business can tear you down. I mean, I still deal with it. Like, I still have low, confidence on some things and don't think I'm skinny enough or pretty enough. And,
I think everybody does.
Yeah, but it's worse when you're in front of the camera. That's why everyone, is injecting your faces and not eating the stuff and getting the trainers. It's like you kind of have to perform because you're a performer, right? It's also with your look. And now that I'm behind it, I don't feel like I have to do that as hard. You know what I mean? Gives me a little lee room to like be myself.
So, what keeps you up at night right now?
Everything.
What's number one on your list that keeps you up at night right now?
Currently,
Yeah.
just finance. I would say finances. Because I feel like in the business, when you would do a job for a huge company, you got paid that money. And you just, you get paid your worth. Now it's like everyone's just scrambling along and taking pennies for nothing. It's, giving their usage rights away. And, that's been a little stressful. Because, obviously you want to buy a home. We live in California. It's like, it's crazy out here right now. And just kind of living in that and still trying to navigate the business as best you can, especially when it was way different back then, and now you're having to cope with it not being like it was, and just having to turn down jobs when you need the money too. It's like that's been stressing me out lately, and all my friends are all stressed out about it, and that stresses me out. So there's a lot there about that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we're in the midst of a Writers Guild strike.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now SAG-AFTRA is backing up the Writers Guild, and
Yes.
I know we spoke, and I know your opinion about it, and
Yep.
there's diminishing revenues and income for the performers, but there's increasing profits for the producers and studios, and there's a lot of people probably up at night worrying about finances these days in the
100%.
industry.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's I voted yes on this strike happening. I hope it does. But yeah, sometimes you'd be able to live off your royalties, your residuals.
Yeah.
Get those checks.
George?
Now they're like, I get 3 checks a week and they're probably under $2,
Question.
total.
What's this?
So that's just, been discouraging,
read it.
Yeah.
It just really is. And, I try to do my best as a photographer as well to keep my prices actor friendly, because I know everyone's hurting. So it's like, it's all just trickling down where everyone's just hurting. Photographers are hurting, directors, everybody. And we're just not getting paid what we deserve to be paid. And all these streaming services, and, it's just... Yeah, I have friends all the time. Oh, I just saw your episode of this. I just saw your episode of that. It's like all these things that people are still seeing on different platforms, and I'm not getting paid for that.
So you mentioned about at times turning down work. Have you ever turned down work not because of the finances, but because of other things, maybe moral compasses?
Oh, yes. Yes. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up because we should definitely talk about this. But I was dropped from my theatrical agent a couple years ago for not attending an audition that I did not feel comfortable doing.
Oh dear, what kind?
It was a huge HBO show, and the scene in the beginning was very funny, but then it turns into a whole threesome, full nudity, whole thing, and the dialogue is so terrible. Like, really, I can't even say it on air. It's so terrible.
Does that show ever make it to?
Oh, yeah,
HBO?
it's huge. It would have been a huge thing. But
What's the name of it?
obviously, I don't want to be known for that part. I had just gotten done shooting Ray Donovan, and I had told my agent before I signed with her that how I wanted my career to go and how I wanted it to look like and how, the roles I didn't want to take and the roles I was looking to go after. So she knew the projection of where I wanted to go. I just, at that point, didn't feel that I needed to take on these roles to further my career. Because I know that those things, even though they say that they will help you, they don't. I wouldn't have used it on my reel. And I didn't want to be fully nude doing something like that. Like, okay, give me the, Shirley's and Monster, sure, a little nudity, but that's for something. This was just...
Undignified.
It was terrible, yeah. And I would be so embarrassed for anyone to watch that. And I explained that I didn't want to go on the audition and why. And then I also said that I wanted to meet this casting director. I mean, obviously you want to make fans. You've never, been in that room before with that person. You want them to see you and get to know you and bring you in for other stuff. But I knew I'd be wasting her time and taking the slot away from another actor who would want to book it. And she goes, well, I just think you need, fans at this moment, and we'll just turn it down if you get it. And I just didn't feel right about that. I mean, I know a lot of casting people, and, I called them and asked their opinion. They said, yeah, that would be really annoying and not cool, and you should not go on this audition. So I didn't. And then a couple weeks later, she dropped me.
Oh, dear. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And, obviously
sorry.
as a female as well, like a woman to woman,
George.
knowing that I'm not comfortable with this and still having an issue with me
Just ask her if she believes
skipping
she's
out on
seen
was
a
ridiculous.
UFO.
Could you tell us the name of the show?
Insecure.
Insecure?
Yeah. Great show. And I would love to have been on that show, but just not in that place. And not in that role and not at that time. So I don't think that was a bad thing passing on that. Yes. And I think that was, the right choice, but obviously I wasn't on the same page as my agent. And I think nowadays the agent manager relationship, it just wasn't like it used to be. I mean, I had the same commercial agent for almost 18 years. I booked everything with her. She was amazing. We'd go out to lunch. She knew who I was. She knew what to pitch me for. Nowadays, you don't even meet your agent sometimes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I had a commercial agent, that I'd never met in person.
It's a different world.
Yeah.
This theatrical agent that that booked you for this audition, are they still in the business?
Yeah. I looked her up because I was just thinking about this the other day.
Can you tell us who she is?
No. I'm not going to throw her under the bus. She was nice enough, she had her reasons for doing that, and, she just wasn't for me, I think sometimes people just want you to book. They don't care what it is, It's like I make more in an hour shooting headshots than I would on some low-budget feature, horror film being naked. It's like that's just not what I want to do. It's obviously I want to act. Everyone's desperate. Everyone wants to work. They just want to work, and I want to too. But I also don't want to make things I don't believe in. I don't want to be in those kinds of projects, So it did leave a bad taste in my mouth, and I really haven't sought out an agent after that. I kind of just fully put all my focus into my photo work and my photo business instead.
So what motivates you now when you wake up each morning? What's your motivation? What's your
Honestly, it's the same
vision?
as it's always been, is creating. I'm still in a creative field, what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I think I would like to get back into commercials and some of the other stuff at a later time. But I just want to create. I want to work with actors in whatever capacity that is. And, I want to educate. Like thinking about when people ask for my opinion of, what to do in the business and what the do's and don'ts. I really find I love that because there was never that for me when I started. You know what I mean? I never had a financial advisor. I wish I had. I wish I had, knew where to put all my money back then when it was real. The money was big back then. But yeah, I wake up just wanting to create and do something cool and put it out in the world for people to see and have a feeling on it. I feel like when you put out a short film and people go, man, that really moved me. I feel the same thing in a photograph at times, Like, I'm not talking about headshots per se, but I do photo projects all the time about things that I like to attach a story to, So I've got a lot of photo ideas in my head, like things I want to do. So I've got a couple of those on the books and I just need to make them happen. But that gets me going, That's the juices going, the creative juices going. I don't want to be sitting behind a desk. I want to be creating and doing something. Yeah.
What about the UFO experience?
A UFO experience.
UFO
Have
experience.
you ever had a UFO experience?
I have not.
Okay.
Okay.
No UFOs.
No?
No.
Do you believe in UFOs?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think about any of that stuff. I mean, I would be pretty arrogant to think that we're the only, life out here in this big, huge universe. So I think there's stuff out there. Do I know what it is? No.
I actually had a UFO experience.
You
once.
did?
Oh, yeah?
But here's the disclaimer. I was on a lot of painkillers. I had hurt my back.
Well,
I like riding my bike, and I sometimes ride long distances. And I had a what's called a century ride, where you ride at least 100 miles.
yeah.
And so for about a week, my back was not doing well, and I started taking some meds for that. And I thought I saw a UFO, but then, I thought, well, is it the UFO or is it the drugs?
It's probably the drugs.
Probably the drugs. and probably back then
the
it was
drugs.
these drones that were starting to come about and become popular, and you didn't really know what they were.
Oh.
So it probably was a drone.
Yeah. Or it's a satellite in the sky. Some people like freak out and see something. We're having all this crazy weather. I mean,
And you mix that with some painkillers, and then I did drink a little bit too.
Okay.
it just keeps getting worse. What kind of painkillers? LSD?
It was muscle relaxers.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I had some rum and Coke with it.
I would probably see some stuff too.
Yeah, probably.
I could definitely be
And-
out in Joshua Tree on some shrooms and see some stuff too.
And where were you when this happened?
Yeah.
In the backyard?
He was in his bathroom.
Oh,
Where were you?
I was sitting kind of on my front patio porch, and it was at night, the one night, and it was summertime, and popped some painkillers and had a rum and Coke, and thought I saw some things.
Okay.
I think a lot of people see some things
Okay.
when they're having that concoction.
I know, right? So that's like
Yes.
running the mills.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little bit of research. I'm going to do it again and see if I do see that UFO again.
Go for it.
No, please don't.
I've been on Vicodin before when I had broken a bone, and
Oh, boy.
you have some weird dreams on Vicodin. And that's a thing. Vicodin apparently gives you crazy dreams. And it's true. But I
Maybe.
didn't see any UFOs. None of that.
I may have to try that.
Should we talk about Don Jones for a second? Hey, buddy.
I think we should talk about Dawn.
Hi. Don. I'm glad you looked me up. That's really cute.
So
And
so
thank you for having me.
so Don Jones is a consultant of mine. By the way, he's the one that got me into cycling, and it's a wonderful sport. Thank you, Don. Keeps me healthy as long
like
as I
it all
don't
the
fall
time.
off the bike. So Don and I consult on a lot of business projects together over the years, and he consults with me on this podcast, and he was digging some stuff up, and he brought up a good point, and I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to swing this over to food.
All right. My favorite.
So my favorite too.
Italian's my favorite.
So you like food? You like food, right?
Are we all?
Yeah,
You like pizza.
I do. Mm-hmm. I do love pizza.
Where do you get the best pizza?
I mean, what city? What state? What country?
Anywhere. Where's the best pizza in the world?
Well, Italy, of course.
Where in Italy? Because the Italian claim they don't eat that kind of stuff.
Yeah, when I was in Rome, I had shot a movie in Rome, and I was there for a month. And I have heartburn, usually really bad. This is how old I am, okay? And I got like the biggest pill. Like, I'm like, I have 100 of these things. I'm gonna probably take them all because I'm gonna get heartburn so bad from the wine and the pizza and the spaghetti, all the acidity in the tomatoes. Didn't get it once. And I ate pizza and wine and pasta every day, and I didn't gain a pound either.
So is it
Because
because
it's the best.
the
It's
food
the
is
ingredients.
just the ingredients are better, no
Yeah.
preservatives?
Nope, not processed. It's like good stuff.
Fresh.
It's fresh.
It's fresh
It's
pizza.
clean. Yes, and you can get the just the regular stuff, and it's amazing. I think that's some of the best pizza I've ever had. Although LA, they go crazy out here. I've had all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I just don't. I haven't really found pizza in Los Angeles that to me kind of hits home. Here's what's interesting. George, our producer, if George can pull up some information while I'm talking on Hillary Clinton
Yeah.
getting pizza in Old Forge, Pennsylvania, and Donald Trump getting pizza in Old Forge, Pennsylvania. So let me tell you a little bit about Old Forge, Pennsylvania.
It's too bad I didn't choke on it.
So I grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area. In between Wilkes-Barre and Scranton is a town called Old Forge.
Oh yeah, look at her eating it.
Old Forge is the pizza capital of the world. George is now showing Hillary Clinton
Yeah, munching down.
It's
That looks like
too
deep
thick.
dish. That looks
I don't
good.
like
eating
it.
pizza.
The crust is too thick for
Okay.
me. I like thin crust.
on her campaign trail. Now, here's the thing. Hillary Clinton has family right in that area of Pennsylvania. So 2 reasons why she would be there is family, and she was doing a campaign, right, for the presidency.
Yeah.
Okay? Ironically, Donald Trump shows up in Old Forge, Pennsylvania. He decides he's going to have the best pizza in the world as well, across the street. So there's 2 restaurants in Old Forge, Pennsylvania called Arcaro and Janelle and Ravello's. They're across the street from each other. And they are well known. Celebrities come from all over the world to go to Old Forge, Pennsylvania, to Arcaro and Janelle or Ravello's and have pizza. Now, I grew up 14 miles from this area, so I knew it very well. I've had pizza there. And then Donald Trump decides, you know what, Hillary, I'm going to one you up, and I'm going to go across the street at the other restaurant, and I'm going to have pizza on my campaign trail.
Of course he would.
And there he
There he
is.
is. Ugh.
Oh yeah.
He looks like pizza.
And he goes to Arcaro and Chanel, and I believe Hillary went to
Look at his face.
Ravello's.
What did he say about these pizza? Did he like pizza? I mean,
See how big he is? He eats that pizza. Come on, man.
Yeah.
He eats
So
everything.
George is showing us the video of this now
Of
on
him
our
walking,
monitors of him
Did he eat
walking
the whole pizza
into
by
the
himself?
restaurant. When was the last time you saw Secret Service at a pizza shop?
Come on. I mean, I'll try it. I live in Silver Lake, and there's a pizza place down the street called Triple Bean, and it's so good. It's really good. I don't know if the best. I just love pizza, so I can't say.
Well, it
ain't
sounds like
Domino's,
you've had
and it
it.
ain't Pizza Hut.
You've had it all over the world.
What's the name of it again?
What, Domino's and Pizza
No,
Hut?
no,
Oh,
it's
Triple
the-
Bean.
Triple bean.
Bean.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
I
good.
have one of my actress friend who lives in Silver Lake, Isabel Zhu. She's in Cannes Festival now.
Oh.
Next time I go over there, I would ask her to
Try
buy
it.
Triple bean.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of pizza spots in LA, but that one's pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I can eat pizza all the time and sushi, but I'm all about it. But yeah, I didn't get heartburn at all. We're talking about food. This is crazy because I love sushi. Love it. And I lived in Asia for like 3.5 years when I was younger. Didn't touch a piece of fish. Hated sushi. Never tried it. Didn't like fish. So all that beautiful sushi that I could have had over there. So now I got to go back. I haven't been back to Tokyo in 20 years, but I'll go back just to have some sushi.
It's an acquired taste. Fish is an acquired taste.
We just never had it growing up. I mean, meats and potatoes, we're like simple American stuff. Like my parents we never had anything fancy. I've never tried Indian. I never did like anything like that.
Well, it's kind of tough to learn how to eat Japanese food. When I was in Saigon, we went to a really nice Japanese restaurant, and I couldn't
Couldn't get it?
No,
Oh.
no. And then when I came over here, after a while, I think the one who taught me how to eat sushi was my friend, one of my former roommates. One of them. I mean,
Her name is Shushi?
No, her name is Sushi. Believe it or not, she's American, but
She taught you
grew
how
up
to eat it.
Yeah, she
man.
grew up in Venezuela.
the
Her
best.
mother's from Spain, so she's very, what you call her, a very well cultural, sophisticated, and very cultural person.
Yeah.
And the first time she gave it to me, I was like, "What's this?" She said, "Put it in your mouth and chew." And I slowly put it
Yeah,
in my
because it
mouth.
looks gross, really. If you never really had it before, it just doesn't look appetizing.
And then I love it.
Yeah, I did a very last minute, hey, we're at a bar, let's go to Vegas trip with a friend of mine. We go there, and then drunkenly we go to Nobu, and when I have the best sushi meal of my life, and it's
Where's
been
this,
all sushi
here?
ever since. No,
Here?
in Vegas.
Oh,
I don't know why. I was like, yeah, let's try it. And I tried sashimi was the first thing I tried, which is crazy because that's like the most gnarly. And I just
Why
fell
is
in
it
love with
gnarly? What's gnarly about
Because
it?
there's no rice. It's just raw
Just fish?
Yeah.
That's not exciting.
my.
Gotta
It
have
was
rice.
Nuts. It was delicious. But anyways, I've been attached to it ever since. So I gotta go back and try it. Try fish.
Nobu in Las Vegas.
Yep. That was my first sushi experience.
He went to Las Vegas.
Yeah, I was in Vegas last month in April. Was at Caesars for some business stuff, and I like Vegas more and more that I go there. I don't gamble. I used to gamble a lot when I was younger, and I don't gamble anymore.
I
I'm
gamble.
not a
I
fan.
gamble. I gambled last night.
Yeah, she did. She lost.
Roulette. Yeah. They gave me. I went to my.
So you were at a gala. right?
I went to, no, it was a country club. I went to a
It was a
fundraise.
gala.
They
Yeah.
call it casino night from ARC Activities Recreational Cares, and they gave me $100 worth of chips.
Yeah.
That's
and I
fun.
play roulette.
Roulette.
That's what I would play.
Yeah,
Probably.
I love it.
That's
First
a tough
time.
game.
I played
It
it.
is.
I played it all. I'm just not.
Tough
I
game.
have family in Vegas, but I don't get out there very often. Maybe for some jobs. I'd always have some modeling jobs out there, and I'd meet up with them.
So you grew up as a business person, as a child, early on. So you must have had some impeccable work ethic. What's your routine like now when you wake up every morning? You seem like you're the type of person that you plan out your days, you know what you need to accomplish. Take me through your day.
Wow, I do seem that way. That's amazing.
You do. You seem very, very sharp, very, very
I'm not a very
business-like.
structured person. I need a little bit more discipline.
In some ways, very shrewd with business, meaning you're smart, so
Yeah.
that's a compliment. But what's your morning routine
hustler.
like when you get up in the morning?
Well, I have a dog now. I think it's become, honestly, since COVID, it's like getting out of lazy mode still. And the business is slow. So, it's, my days are like, it's like a vacation all the time for me. But I wake up, I meet my friend at the gym, where our dogs play, we work out, she kicks my butt. And then I come back and I try to do something work-related, photo-related. I'm going to edit some photos today. And obviously I have to have a presence online. So that's a whole other beast I'm trying to learn and figure out. So, yeah, it's just getting up and working out and just trying to, work on the mind. I do a little meditation, say some nice affirmations, play with the dog, go to the gym, and just try to hustle. I feel like the one thing I would say about myself is that I'm a hustler, and I can always figure things out if I needed to. It's always like I'm always working on something, I'm always doing something. So, yeah, just wake up and grind, I feel like. And I think that's another reason why I took a break from the acting stuff. It's like, it's so tiring. So, a grind. Grind. So now it's less of a grind, but more me time.
So now, who's your favorite podcaster right now?
Oh, well, you guys, of course.
All
Okay.
right, wow, good answer. Good. It's like Family Feud. Good answer. Great answer.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Number one answer.
Yeah.
You get 50 points for that.
Love it.
Yep.
I listen to a lot of Dateline as well.
Day-
Podcast, Dateline.
Dayline.
Yeah. Keith Morrison. Right?
What do you like about
What's
it?
his name, Keith? Keith Morrison? Is that the name?
What do you like about it?
True crime? I love true crime stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love true crime
I love
stories.
it. I love it.
Who's your favorite true crime criminal?
Oh, jeez. I mean, I don't like any of them, but
What's the one that's most intriguing to you that you think about probably more than any other true crime criminal?
jeez.
You,
No one.
Chris.
Yeah, what? What are you thinking about? I'm not thinking about. I don't wake up and think about that.
What about you?
I just told you
Chris?
my routine. It's not thinking about
you know
that.
what? When I was growing up, I was into horror and into crime,
Yeah.
true crime. You didn't watch true crime shows as much, really back when I grew
Stephen
up.
King.
But I liked Jack the Ripper,
Yeah.
well known, Zodiac,
Yeah.
and I think right now I'm still enthralled with Zodiac.
I was thinking
Watching, they had 2 movies come out over the last 10 years about Zodiac. There's still true crime documentaries about Zodiac. They never cracked the case, though they think they knew who it was. So yeah, Zodiac.
Yeah. That's cool.
So can you
like it.
tell us something that you think is true, that almost nobody agree with you on it?
Oh, that I think is true. That no one agrees with me.
Like UFOs.
We're going back to that.
Now, is there anything though that you believe in though, but nobody else does?
I don't think so.
Could
No?
be a theory. Could be anything that you really believe in, but most people don't.
Yes, I tell you mine, and this is
Yeah,
really
let's hear it.
strange. About the gun control, I said
Oh.
I make it more difficult to buy bullet. You can buy gun all you want, but no bullet
Oh.
without a psychiatric evaluation and background check.
Yeah. Well, they shouldn't. If you're not in the military, you shouldn't own certain guns. Period. I think. Like, what do you need that for? Like, do you
some
really
people
need
want to
that for?
decorate it. Some people they want it as a household decoration, a house decor. That I can understand, but absolutely no bullets.
How about rubber bullets?
Yeah.
What's that? You're meeting a happy medium there.
They do have those, though. They use them for training purposes, but they could still be pretty dangerous.
Right,
Well, I
right.
don't
Or
know.
tranquilizer bullets.
Yeah, it takes
bullets
people
that
down.
don't kill.
Yeah.
Something to go just like this only.
But what Tiffany's talking about is during the pandemic, and I know this because I am an owner of guns. This is the theory, don't have fact behind it, that the government was buying up a lot of ammunition during the pandemic, purposely. Now, what was the reason? Were they afraid people were going to go stir crazy
other,
and
Could be part of it?
Right?
Yeah, sure.
filling up their clips and firing away? And what happened in the first 6 months? And I knew this because I would buy ammunition because I go to the range.
Oh.
And at one point, a 9mm individual bullet, okay, would run about 18 cents a piece. Okay, during the pandemic, it started to triple, quadruple to the point where you couldn't get them. The gun shops were out of
Or
stock.
toilet
Now,
paper.
yeah, you have some issues here. Supply chain management, right? So maybe they weren't producing enough because of the pandemic. So maybe these warehouses and these manufacturers were shut down. But the theory is that the government got involved, which created a shortage if they were buying a lot up to begin with, plus the pandemic. The costs skyrocketed. So to Tiffany's point, it was more difficult to get a hold of ammunition. Not handguns, but ammunition.
I bet it wasn't difficult for Mayor Bass to get a hold of her ammunition. Guns.
Possibly.
Oh boy.
So,
LA is a freaking war zone. Okay, it's a video game. LA is a video game.
so are you anti-handguns?
I mean, my brother has a whole arsenal of all that crap. I mean, no, I'm not anti that, but am I anti the ones that that you don't need? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Like, unless you're in the
anti-bullets.
military, I just don't see why you should own certain guns. Like, I don't care if you own a handgun or whatnot, but like, I don't know. There's just certain things that I don't think people should have.
Well, the problem with the general concept of outlawing guns is that if you do so, then only the outlaws will have them.
Right.
So that's a problem. There's got to be a happy medium that's got to be struck someplace where it's safe for most people to have access to them, but no access to the people that are considered to be mentally.
Right.
What
What are these 18-year-olds, It's nuts.
Like me?
Well, there's a prime
You look
example.
18, but you're not.
You wish you were 18.
Well, you said
I would love to
mentally.
go back.
He said the word mentally not ready or
Right, that's what
mentally
he
not
said, mentally.
not capable.
Well, there should be bigger hoops.
And I'm like,
that
is
you
he
need to jump
talking
through.
about me?
There should definitely be some
People like
hoops
you.
that you should go through to get to the point where you then are able to have that. Period. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how many bodies are going to pile up and kids get... I mean, people are worrying about drag queens when their kids are getting shot in schools. They're more worried about their kid getting danced on by some drag queen that just wants to entertain people instead of
thought-
getting guns off, out of the hands of
I
people.
thought Halloween is the holiday.
I don't get it. I don't know.
I thought they dress up for Halloween. They dressed up as Santa Claus for their kids.
Yeah, they
they
lied to their
anti-drag
kids
queens?
for 8 years about Santa Claus.
The thing I'm waiting for is a Santa Claus who's dressed up as a drag queen, or vice versa. That's really gonna, be a Lollapalooza.
It's harmless. We're just worried about the wrong things.
Yeah.
It's just so I honestly I hate going online. I hate watching the news.
Oh, online. What was the last thing you Googled?
Oh,
The very
this
last
show?
thing.
This show. I swear to God, because I was telling
show?
some friends about it that I was going to be on this thing. So
So you did that today?
Yep.
So you wanted to see what you were getting yourself into?
Well, I watched the last episode that you sent me, but then I also wanted to send them a link, so I Googled it and sent them a link. So that's the last thing.
Good answer. Good answer.
I'm winning.
There's
the room.
50 points again.
Yeah.
Ding! Number one answer.
Is there any question that we're supposed to ask you, but we haven't?
Oh. I am surprised that you guys didn't bring up John Mayer. I was in that video I was just thinking about it the other day. 21.
Well, now
years
that
ago.
you mentioned it.
Yeah.
21 years ago, I did
21
Your Body is a
years
Wonderland
ago.
for John Mayer, and that kind of put me on the map. And also, that's when I started doing commercials. So I switched a little bit, and my first commercial was with George Clooney at that
I was just going to ask you, what was your first big time commercial?
Toyota with George Clooney, and I played his date, like
Really?
girlfriend date in it. Yeah,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was really weird because I was 22, I think, at the time, or 21. You know, and he's way older, and he wasn't dyeing his hair then, so it was like, and I was really shocked because I hadn't really seen him like that before.
So George had some gray.
George was fully gray, and
I-
I was 21 years old. I'm like, this is so bizarre, but the commercial is really cute, and he gives me like a bear that's got a little diamond necklace on it. I'm like, oh,
Bless
thank
you.
you. And I remember in between takes, he was just talking about the business and telling me how he got started and how difficult, and he was like living in someone's closet before he booked ER, and he goes,
He was living in a closet
yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
here in LA
it might have been New York, but
when he booked ER.
yeah, he said it was before ER, but he said that like how, you know, what he was going through, and I was like, oh man. And he goes, are you an actor? And I go, I mean, this, I guess it was acting, commercial, but I've never thought about going into acting, you know, TV, film kind of thing. And he's like, you should, you're a natural, you should do it. And I put it on him that I went into it right after that.
So George eventually did come out of the closet then.
Yeah. He sure did.
I always,
There he is. Look at them.
I always
These
suspected.
pictures are pulled up.
I always
George,
suspected George of being a cradle robber.
George,
You know,
pull up that
Yes.
commercial with Holly and George.
I don't
Toyota.
know if you can find it.
See
I
if you
would
can find
love
it.
it. It is on a. Do have a reel posted online.
And I don't meant George Clooney. I meant George, our producer. 'Cause-
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
George.
Yeah.
George.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I feel like I have a reel online. I made a commercial reel, and that's on there.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you something. Before you make fun of somebody living in a closet, in New York
somebody do
City,
that
when
They have to
people-
live in closets.
They own with some rich people or something who own loft. Maybe they can get them for really cheap, and they have really big closets, so they might let him.
I've seen
stay
it.
in a walk-in closet.
Maybe he lived in a big closet.
Yeah, that
but he was
walking-in
awesome, and that
closet,
was a
yeah.
fun. That was a fun shoot, and he was awesome. And I was like, oh, maybe I should get a little into that.
Something tells me that George has an awfully big walk-in closet.
Look at
Now he
those.
does.
Look at those pictures. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yes. Oh
We're
look
looking at pictures of Holly,
look at her with the bang down here.
print model,
Yeah, bangs.
actress.
I've had bangs. I've given-
Holy, holy, holy.
When you look at it like
You
this,
see, you
it's
even
crazy.
get
It's like a
sing
body
to.
of work right here.
You even get sing to when
Yeah.
you hear.
Yes, I put one of my favorite Neil Diamond songs.
I like the picture that you sent me. Is it a turtleneck you're wearing?
Yeah.
I love that turtleneck because I
Me
love
too. I like that
turtlenecks.
kind of look.
Don liked that picture as well, by the way.
Of course he did.
Yes.
Let's bring him up again. Hey, Don.
I liked all those pictures.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that commercial was great, and it didn't air in the U.S. It was just Japan only.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
The Japanese pay for it.
Yep. And that's how I got my SAG card. I didn't even know what it was. They even paid for my SAG initiation fee
Oh wow, yeah.
and everything. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm in this union. I didn't even know what it was because I wasn't acting. I was just commercial acting.
How did it
is
feel
acting.
to get your SAG card? It means you're a professional.
I don't think I knew what it meant then in the beginning. So I was like, oh, cool, you know, but it's like, wow, at 20 years old, I'm in a union. I have a family. I have a career. Like, I didn't really think like I'm a career. I was just working and just doing, just working and, getting up that ladder, I guess. And then that George Clooney thing happened, and I was like, oh man, maybe I should try it out.
George convinced you.
Yes.
It's worth living in your closet.
Worth living in your closet.
It was worth somebody's time living in
Yeah.
their closet anyway. Yes, yeah.
My first audition for like a big TV project was for CSI Miami, and I remember it was like a couple of lines. It was just I'm coming out in a towel, and I'm getting the paper, and I'm kind of like half blind, I guess, in this thing. So I see something, but I can't really make out what it is, and it's a guy hanging from a building, and then he falls, and I'm like, oh my god, it's a whole thing. When I was waiting in that waiting room, there was a cop. There was like 15 obviously different
So
roles
this
they
is
were
going
auditioning
on?
for.
This is going on live? Like,
No, this is just like an audition on an audition room.
so who's falling?
Oh, it was a guy. A real guy fell off this thing, but I'm having to act, obviously in the audition room, like I'm seeing I'm half blind, I'm seeing it. But the woman who was running the audition was screaming at all the actors. That was terrible. I'm not joking. I mean,
The casting director?
yes.
That's
and
odd.
I was scared. We were all so scared. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do horrible. She's going to yell at me. Like, people were leaving the room just really scared. And I was like, oh my God, is this how it... I thought that's how it is. Like, it's intimidating. They're scary. Casting directors are scary. They want you to lose, when in fact they just want you to do good. And because I'm scared in the audition, like actually in the scene, the audition went great. Because I was scared
It's called
shitless
method
of this
acting.
lady. Yeah. So I was like, oh, and I booked it. That was like my first audition.
She scared
and
the
I
heck
booked
out
it.
of
She scared me enough that it worked for the role. And if it had to be something where I was happy, I probably would have booked it.
You know,
Casting
in contrast,
directors don't usually do that. They just, okay, thank you.
Right?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but she was really trying to get reactions out of people. She's like, I did it once, and she's like, I just
she's a
didn't
good one then.
feel it. I just didn't feel it. Like I need to feel it, and I would. She scared me. I was like, oh God, I was literally shaking. So it looked, legit. I ended up booking it. I couldn't believe it.
to echo what he just said a moment ago about the casting directors, they usually just say, yeah, fine, okay,
Right.
thank you. I had a casting director actually that told me after my audition, perfect, never to be heard from again.
Well, that happens all the time.
That's how they
Come
get
on,
you
that's how it is.
out of the door
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, you were phenomenal.
They don't want you to
Yeah.
feel
were
terrible, which is
phenomenal.
nice.
See ya.
I appreciate that.
Did you hear a click when they closed the door behind you, that they locked the door?
Yes, matter of fact, I felt a little bit of nudge on the back.
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
side of
Yeah.
it,
They're like,
right?
next.
Thank you. Keep
Yeah,
going.
they're
keep
calling
going.
someone else. No, not the right guy. Yeah, those experiences were really wild.
So, Holly, tell me this. Because you've gone through a lifetime in the industry. Mm-hmm. The industry has changed dramatically in that timeline. Mm-hmm. What do you tell somebody who might be watching who's either just getting in the industry or thinking about it? What kind of advice would you give them?
Run now.
While you're still around.
Yeah,
yes,
get out of here while you're still you.
Yes.
Have something else in your life
As a
that you
backup.
enjoy doing, not even as a backup, just like, I feel like when people put too much pressure on themselves, like I have to get this job, I have to get this audition, otherwise I'm never going to work. I feel like if they have something else that they're doing, and this is just kind of like a secondary thing, like you're supposed to walk into the room, do your thing, and then go and leave and never think about it again. But everyone's just so desperate for work now too, that it's just like, oh man, did they call? It's,
Especially during the strike here, of course.
especially, I mean, it's just getting worse, and
Yeah,
and
the
auditions
directors
are
are
not in the
next.
room anymore, and then it's just self-tape, so then you have no communication, there's no growth there, there's no experience happening there, and people don't know if they're doing well, if they're doing bad, they're just turning in these self-tapes, and so now there's more disconnect than ever. I just would say that this could be a career, and it is. I'm not even taking away from that, because it definitely is. There's you got to put a lot of work into it, but you should also be doing something that you enjoy, that is, like a different career, or maybe something within that career. Maybe you're directing now, maybe you're writing, maybe you're doing all of the above. I'm taking photos.
A side gig.
Yeah, a side gig.
Yes.
I just feel like people, if they put so much pressure on themselves to get this one thing, it's like, I feel like it's just more harder when you don't win, or you don't get, in the room, or you don't get that audition, or you're not having a hard time finding an agent. I just relax. I tell people relax and just enjoy the process as much as you can, but also be doing other things that give you those feelings, and that you have something, going on.
That sounds like good advice.
Yeah.
What's one thing you advise them never to do?
To go against
One
your
thing?
advice.
Yeah, to not have something else. One thing to never do is to never, just try not to let it change you. Be your authentic self.
Despite all the fame and fortune.
Yeah, all of that stuff.
Fame and fortune.
People shouldn't go into for those reasons in the first place. If they're going into those reasons, then I know they're failing already.
Yes.
My biggest advice would just be like, just grow some, have some thick skin there and not let it affect you.
Very thick skin.
Don't let it define you. There you go. That's what I'm kind of looking for.
No, he's right about
With-
the very thick
Don't let
skin,
this
yeah.
business and what it does
Yeah.
to you define you.
Yeah, don't let
Regardless.
rejection put you down, let you down.
Right. Plus, because a lot of people in this business, not actors, but like producer, director, agents, casting people, they just equally are desperate as
Yeah.
the actors,
Everyone
what
I
are-
know is suffering in some
Yes.
way.
Well, I doubt that the
Trying to get
studio
there.
heads are really that desperate.
Yeah, sure. Well, powerful people are the
Yes.
ones. Yeah.
By the way, you're speaking of the writer's strike, of course. You know what's next, of course.
I
right?
voted yes on that
Yes,
recently.
Yeah, the directors, and then the SAG is following
Yeah.
suit after that.
I am. I'll be there picketing. We'll be there.
I have an old actor friend who's already picketing in
Yeah, of
support
course.
of the
Yeah, of course.
writers, too.
All my friends are doing it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Good.
Maybe
I
we
think we
should
should all
have
stand together.
a filtered picket group here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm going to vote yes as well.
Definitely
I'm
vote yes.
backing up SAG, of course, because I'm a member, but I'm backing up the WGA as well. So I'll
course.
do
They have to treat the
what
writer
I can
equally. Yeah.
to
We're
support.
the ones saying their words, right?
We're all in it together. We all need
We all in
to
it
succeed
together.
and be profitable. I think there's enough money out there being generated for everybody to earn a living.
That's right.
Exactly,
Share in the
yeah.
streaming profit.
Well, yeah, I'm
Absolutely,
getting those
yes.
checks every week, that are 1 cent, $10, $2. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's
It
like
is.
no one can live off that. And even people that are starting out, that's why I say also have other things going on. Because even if you got a one-day guest star or one-day co-star, I mean,
That's nothing.
$800, $1,000 is all you get, minus
Yeah.
your agency fees, minus tax and everything. You get nothing.
Yeah.
Minus
Like, you can't
food,
even
minus
pay.
travel.
When I joined SAG, although I didn't pay for it, like I said, the client did, it was $1,200. Now it's $3,000.
Yeah.
And the base dues, even if you're making $5 in residuals, the base dues that you pay every year is $231.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I just paid.
Like
for
what?
it.
Right.
I
So
know.
some people are like not even auditioning or working, but yet they're paying this and they're struggling to pay that.
Yes.
I know people that are just putting theirs on hold, and also another thing is FICOR.
FICOR.
I know a lot of people doing that, and I haven't.
Which one?
FICOR. It's where you can basically like a dues paying non-member. You surrender your SAG card, so you can't go, you can't vote, you don't get the screeners, you can't go to any of their events, but you could do union and non-union work. And before they'd let you come back, but now they're like strict policy. If you decide to go FICOR, which they're dead set against because it obviously weakens the union, you have 30 days to change your mind, and after that you're done forever. So they say.
Really?
Yeah, I looked into it. I've been doing the research on that because so many of my friends are doing that because 70% of commercial work is still non-union.
Uh-huh.
And I can't even do some print jobs because there's non-union B-roll that goes with it. So I'm missing work left and right. It's like, and I've
Well-
turned down 2 jobs this last week that don't pay. It's like, I don't even care. I'll throw them under the bus. Like NutriBullet was offering $750 for like a 10-hour day, and that includes usage, right, in perpetuity, worldwide broadcast, the whole deal, for $750. And your print agent gets 20% of that, minus tax. I mean, you're getting $400, whatever, $300. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that could air all over the world for months, years, and your image is going to be seen, and you won't get paid a dime after that.
Nope.
Oh, it's
Right.
awful.
It happens, and this, when I did that, even that John Mayer music video that everyone's like, that someone saw some images the other day because they were doing a story of John Mayer, and that the video was going because that's a huge video for him. I got paid $1,500 a day, which is great actually.
Sure,
And
for a
it was
music
2 day
video,
shoot.
yeah.
Yeah, it was $3,000, but it was a flat rate, and it still haunts me to this day. It's everywhere, but I mean, they don't pay models or actors that anymore.
Yeah.
And that was for my modeling agency, but like I bet you now they would probably pay you $300 to do that, and people do it.
Yeah, because
And
they
I
need
al-
the money.
Right, and I also think that social media, as much as how amazing it's been, it's also torn the whole industry apart because models will do it for free or for $150. So my agents are begging people not to go onto those modeling apps because it's hard to sell a model and try to get a certain rate for them when they can just go online and get them at some
Cheap rate.
cheap rate. But like you said, everyone's desperate. Everyone needs the money, and I
Right.
totally understand that. That's why people are going FICOR. And the union's really pissed off about that. But it's like, how can you not know that people are just trying to support their families?
Absolutely, yeah.
In Los Angeles, living out here is a joke. like it's a joke now. You know, it's like you can't even survive out here. I know so many friends, even during the pandemic, that took off and now live elsewhere and are, you know, could buy a home there. You
Right.
know, it's been discouraging to say the least.
Yeah.
You know, all this stuff.
Of course. Yep.
Where can people go to find out more about you and your work?
Ooh. Well, obviously, think about social media. There's social media.
Okay.
I do have a presence on there. I am Holly Lynch is my main account, and then Holly Lynch Photo is my photo account, and then hollylynchphoto.com is my. Oh, there's the reel right there. He's playing my reel right now. It's so real, seeing myself. I hate it.
That was Captain Kirk.
Yes, that was a great scene, which, by the way, now we're talking about this, didn't make it in the U.S. cut of the film, but made it in, I think, like, some foreign film. I don't know which one, but it made that cut. It's not on IMDb, and I don't get credit for it,
Interesting.
even though I got that clip from somebody in Japan. Sent it to me.
And what are we watching here? What's this?
This is Entourage.
Entourage?
This is another movie I did with Dean Cain there.
Dean
Great guy,
Cain,
man.
Superman.
Old school, but he's awesome, actually.
He went to Princeton.
Really cool dude. Smart guy.
Well-educated man.
Yeah.
So you play his
We
girlfriend?
filmed that. No. That is a crazy movie, actually. That
I like the black eyeshadow.
Right?
Gives you
I
this,
was moody
this
then.
mysterious.
I was a moody artist
Look.
in this film. But my dad ended up finding the cure for cancer, and they killed him over it because pharmaceutical companies wanted to
Did
shush it
Dean
up.
kill him?
No,
Okay.
he wanted to bring it to light. Vampire movie, you know, gotta throw one of those.
Everybody's gotta be in a
Everyone's gotta
vampire movie at least
Dude,
once.
Corey Feldman's in this movie. He plays a cross-dressing
Vampire?
vampire. Like, yeah,
Are you a vampire too?
I am. That was it. Yeah, and this is Vampire Diaries. Speaking of Vampire Diaries, I got my throat torn out by the lead dude in this.
Ooh.
Cold Case. This was my first big like television role.
Nice.
So
I got to be a.
lots of credits, lots of work.
So how'd you end up here?
You know what? I'm asking myself. I'm just kidding.
Chris,
Sean.
because I asked her to,
Yeah,
and she
he
said
hasn't
I would
come. Why
love
not?
to be on a show with Chris Sloan.
I like talking about, you know, the business and how it's changed from when I was in it and what's going on today, you know?
Oh. This
What's one thing
This is the other Sean
that
Francis. Yeah.
people would be generally surprised about to learn about you? One thing that they would be genuinely surprised about
Oh,
to find out
Oh,
about
yes.
Holly.
about me.
One
Ooh.
thing. If it was one thing, what would it be? And be honest.
I'm really thinking about this hard. There's a lot of things. But I
You
don't
would-
know.
you can open
Why would
up to
people
me,
be
right?
surprised about it? I don't know.
Well, I mean, it could be anything, but something that, wow, really? Like just generally a surprise.
Oh, well, this is deep, but just because people look at me like I'm a very tough person, I was married once, very briefly, to someone who used me for a green card and also physically abused me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So some people would find that surprising because they're like, "Oh, you're kind of a hard chick, you know."
No,
You wouldn't take that,
no,
but it's
no,
kind of the
no.
opposite.
No, tell her. I
Yeah.
did my thesis in domestic violence, so I'm not surprised at all.
I'm not surprised at all either because I married somebody so that she could get her green card and her eventual U.S. citizenship.
No.
And?
Well, we're still good friends, believe it or not.
Yeah, I have not spoken to this man or seen him since then.
How long ago was this?
I was 19. My parents were dead set against this. Like,
Oh,
it was
see? That's the
terrible.
whole thing.
They saw it for
Yeah.
what it was, and I did not see it. I thought I was doing him a favor, and then just all went horribly wrong when he actually came to live out here. So yeah, that was many, 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 many years ago. And he also did the same thing. We met in Japan when we were both modeling, and he didn't show his true colors until he kind of came out here. And then I felt trapped because I had left my home with my parents, and now I was living with this person, and he's like, you owe me. I'm out here, away from my family in a different country. And I just, it was a whole other thing. But the abuse happened straight away. And then it took me a long time to get out of there. But he ended up booking a commercial back at home. And when he left, I was left with my life. Grabbed everything that I had and just moved out and had some friends help me and was out of there.
What country was that in?
He's from Vienna.
So you were in Austria at the time? Is that it?
No, we both met in Japan.
Oh.
So yeah, we were working. I never went to his home country. I never even met his family.
When was the last time you heard or seen him?
Well, I was curious, so I went on social media to see if he's still living out here. And he's got 2 kids. He's divorced.
What a surprise.
Not a surprise. Also a photographer. And that's not surprising because he has the same background as me. And he's an artist. And at the time, I had put him through training to be a personal trainer. So I think he might be still doing that. I have no idea. But that's the last time I've seen him, put eyes on him. But I don't know where he lives. I don't know what he's doing.
And you were married?
Yes.
And how long
Legally,
did the marriage
for
last?
3 years. Legally, because I couldn't find him. He didn't want to get the divorce, and it was a whole thing. It was insane. Yeah.
Well, that's the green card.
Sorry to hear that you had to go through all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, but that's not a real marriage.
No, of course not. Come on.
Right,
When people ask me that, I say I've never been married, like I really do feel that way because this was courthouse. I mean, I think we went and saw a horror movie right after that. Like it wasn't.
No, it's not.
It
It
wasn't
doesn't matter,
real.
but It's not
Yeah.
a real marriage. Not a real relationships.
No, I was a kid.
A lot of people they elope, they go, they're
Right,
married,
right.
they're happily married forever. But
This was.
Has that
definitely
made
not
you
that.
stronger, though, in many different ways?
Oh, 100%. 100%. And obviously, domestic violence is very close to my heart, that subject. So I do any kind of work I can in that field and educate, and talk to people about that and, those experiences. Because, domestic abuse doesn't come in like the package you think it does. So there's a lot there. But yeah, I feel like that made me a lot stronger for sure. For sure. But yeah.
I don't know what to say to that.
It's a lot. Does that surprise you?
That's what I was
one
looking
thing?
for,
There
something
you
that
go.
was genuinely surprising. And because when I first met you, I'm like, wow, you look like you command your life and you have control, and you look like you could be tough too. like you could take care of yourself.
she learned.
Yeah,
to
from
be
that.
tough. You have.
It's from
You
that.
have to be tough. Just like I told you before, you have to be tough in order to work for the city.
Right. Well, in this business, yeah, you got to have a thick skin there as well. It's a lot.
Oh, God, yes.
It's a lot. And it's not that I still struggle with stuff, self-esteem, things like that.
Do you?
Yeah.
You look very confident.
I appreciate that. Maybe that's the acting. That's the actor in me. I mean, I think any woman that's aging in this business is going to have a little bit of, it's harder for me to lose weight when I want to lose weight now. It's like, whoa, when did that happen? My eyes are getting a little, you're like thinking, man, do I need Botox? What's up? Do I need to do things to my face?
We were talking about this. So Holly has a phenomenal business in photography, and actually, I think we're going to do some work together because I need some new pictures, some new shots. And she was showing me her portfolio before the show, and it's phenomenal. But we were talking about that, though, is that as we get older, we get wrinkles and things on our face that, we're not perfect anymore. But that's what cast and directors want to see. They want to see the real you. They want to see the real me. And we were looking at some of the portraits that you took, the headshots, and they were phenomenal because some of them you can see the wrinkles in the forehead, and they call them the
Expression lines, man.
They call them the 11s, the two
Yeah.
little lines there in your above your nose, the 11. And but that draws out character, right? So, even though you physically are seeing those changes in yourself, but as a photographer, though, sometimes you do want to capture that.
Right. I don't want to you should see me taking my own photo. It's bad. Get on that Photoshop and I'm like, ooh. I'm like, oh, don't do it.
Keep it real. Keep
Don't
it
do
real.
Yeah, well, I think I also entered like a desert land where it's like, 30s, 40s, you're not 20 anymore, you're not, you know what I mean? So it's like the roles are different, and it's been less for me in that realm. And then some, I get the mom roles, and especially during quarantine, it's like, audition with your kid if you got one, and it's like, well, but clearly not getting that. It's like a lot of those auditions, and it's and that's what I was saying when my agent, I'd gotten a commercial agent during the pandemic, and we met on Zoom. He's never seen me. So like the auditions that were coming in, I'm like, this dude has no idea who I am or what I am in person.
Is he local?
Yeah.
I would
let
meet him.
him- I
I
let
would
him
meet
go.
him for some coffee and just.
I let
you
him
know,
go. I hadn't heard
Get to
from
know
him.
him.
I got like an audition a year for the last 3
Yeah,
years,
that's
so
not
I
good.
left him.
not good.
Funny enough, you do it by email, right? That's how
Yeah.
it's always been. I've fired many people.
The Dear John
he never replied.
letter.
Never replied. So I followed up. Never replied.
Interesting. Maybe he was
begging.
new to the industry and then got out.
I don't think so. I still see him on there, the agency, but who knows? Maybe they folded during this time. But my agent that I had, the commercial agent I had for almost 18 years, I'm begging her to come back, begging her to be an agent again. She's in coaching now. Well, she's kind of like
She local?
Yep, Jen Boyce. Everybody, look her up online. It's called the Hollywood Prep.
Jen Boyce.
Jen Boyce, Hollywood Prep. She was with the Savage Agency. That's who I was with for many, many years. And she's my friend. She's a great agent, and she now guides people that are new to the business or just needs to know the do's and don'ts. So she's an educational coach. She's amazing. She's been in the business for 30 years, so she knows what she's talking about. So if anyone needs a little guidance in the business, she's it.
Jen Boyce.
Boyce.
Jen Boyce, if you're out there, we need you back.
Yeah, please be an agent. I'm like, if you're
We
ever a
need you
manager, I am your first client. Jen
Boyce.
Boyce.
I think we need to take her out for some coffee and we'll talk her into this thing.
She should come on here. She's
Maybe
amazing.
we'll have
Jen
her on the
Boyce,
show.
the Hollywood
Like
Prep.
a voice? Like
Boyce.
Boyce with a B.
Boyce.
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 So tell us more about your photography business.
You're still doing it wrong, but okay.
B-O-Y.
The Hollywood Prep. Y. There's a Y in it.
No I.
Yeah, my
B-O-Y-C,
photography. So
yeah.
I started that because I was sick of paying for headshots. They're so expensive. So I was like, you know what? I took my own. My agent was like, these are great. Then my friend's like, hey, can you take mine? And then all my friends started lining up. And then I just started, going, I really like this. So there she is.
Yeah.
Look at her beautiful face.
Yes.
My agent, I miss you.
Was she a frustrated actress at one time?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think so. Well, there you go. About me. It doesn't look like. But she's amazing. Come back. Anyways, back to the photography. So, yeah, I just started doing, my agent loved my pictures, and then they sent me a bunch of models to test. So by the end of that, I had a whole portfolio, and then I just started charging for it. And it came at the perfect time because that's when, diversity started being a more bigger thing, which is freaking awesome. But obviously, like roles for the 30-year-old white girl were just getting less and less and less. And so I wasn't really booking any commercial stuff after that. And then I was like, I got to do something else, like what I was saying, because that was my life, was commercials, acting here and there, and modeling. So I'm like, I need to do something else. And then the photography came in, and I'm like, I really like doing this. And I like making people feel good, and I like how the pictures come out and how creative I can be. So I just started doing it as a business, and it just became what it is now.
And how can people get in touch with you to book a session?
HollyLynchPhoto.com.
HollyLynchPhoto.com. Get wonderful
Headshots, portraits, lifestyle. You want to just do something fun, do something creative, have an idea in your head? Let's do it.
And with-
Eventually, I will need one. I
Here you
will
go.
Book someone.
Yeah,
my
there
agent
it
tell me
is.
to book someone for one headshot, but I'm going to growing out my gray, and right now it's only like this much, and I think it.
I don't see any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked pretty bad, but you know how when you grow.
Yeah.
Just a
Well, this is
little,
how women, that's how we think of ourselves.
Right. So, but now I want
But
to
it's
make
probably
it
gonna
really
look cool.
nice. Yes, I want to look cool. So when it grow out to here, I'm probably gonna
Yeah.
have you take a
Headshots all around.
Holly
Everyone's
Lynch
getting a
Photo,
portrait.
we could see it right
there
now
it
on the
is.
monitor.
Yeah, oh, that's beautiful.
You know, Holly, when you talk about getting into your 30s, roles for a 30-year-old white woman start to dissipate. Not quite as much as it does for 50 to 60-year-old white guys.
No, I bet. I know.
So you still got a ways to go to catch up with
I
us,
mean,
yeah.
there's so many platforms. There's so much TV. You have to think that that's happening. Like, where are these auditions at? But I also think you need to have a good team that knows
Yeah.
you, that knows what you're good at, and knows how to pitch you, and get out there. I mean, I just don't have a strong LA team at the moment. when it comes to TV and theatrical.
Well, the writer's strike, it's really going to slow
Well, yeah,
down.
it's going to slow everything down.
Which
Sure.
is okay. It's worth it.
100%.
Hopefully in the long run. Hopefully it's not as long a run that it's.
The last one
Yeah.
Well,
was 100 days, right?
They
Something
have
like
to
that.
respect the writers, period.
Yeah.
And the directors and the actors.
Everybody involved should be getting a piece of that and not just going into the, pockets of
Big studio.
big guys. Yeah, it's like, come on.
As if they need it, right?
The writers work their asses off. The actors work their asses off. Everyone does on set.
Yeah.
It's insane. They're sitting there
Yeah.
day in and day out. I know a lot of writers. It's a lot of work.
Sure.
It's a lot of, stuff there.
So what's next for Holly Lynch? What's in the forefront for
Cards.
you?
Ooh, I'm
Yeah.
still figuring
What's-
it out.
What's coming up?
Well, obviously, there's a lot of photo work to be had. I got some cool projects on the brain, which I'm going to do. Like I said, I like doing photo projects that have like a story to go with the photos. So, just telling people stories. So I'm going to get more into that. And that's, photo stuff. I think just photo stuff. I'm taking a break out of the whole acting thing. I've been focusing just on that. Just photo work.
When Chris asked you a moment ago what's coming up, it reminded me of the Diana Ross song, What's Coming Up?
I want the world to know. Yeah, just lots of photos, photo projects, creative works. Who knows? Who knows? I do have an agent in Atlanta, and I absolutely love her. Her name's Christy Clark. She's amazing. I'm with Stewart Talent out there, and they still send me stuff. So who knows? Maybe I'll be heading out to Atlanta and doing some projects.
I think we need to see you on screen again, because what we've seen today and what I've seen before you came on the show is very impressive, and you belong
Thanks.
as much behind the camera as you do. You still, I believe, belong in front of the camera.
You sound like all of my
Absolutely,
friends.
yep.
Every single one of my friends.
Yep,
It's like, what are you doing? Get back
absolutely,
out there. Get in
yep,
front of the
yep,
camera.
The camera loves you. Everything I've seen, the camera just loves you. And when that happens, that's where people fall into that character and believe in that character and believe in what you're doing. And it's interesting because, acting is a skill, but the camera has to somehow like you. It has to come towards you and embrace you. And that's when you can really encumber everything and create the emotion in people. And you do that. You do that. So
Nice.
I want to see you continue to do that.
Are you my George Clooney right now?
Yes.
Is this George
Because I
Clooney number
did
two?
once
He's
live
gonna
in a
push me
closet.
back into it.
I've been out of the closet a long time, so But you see, with me, the camera runs away from me, so it doesn't embrace me. The cameras run from me.
Look, you're
But
on camera right
you-
now. Look at this.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I don't think so.
But you,
No way.
the cameras love, and you belong there. Okay, I'm just telling you that.
Yeah, maybe I will. I've been back and forth with it. I really have been. Like, do I want to stay out of it? It's just the politics and just being the grind, and it's just a whole nother beast. And I've been focusing on what I can control, focusing on the photo work. But like I said earlier in the show, I really do miss being on set and working with others in that environment. I miss creating in that field. I miss it a lot.
You miss all those crew people hanging around.
Everybody, man, everyone's so cool, and we're all creating this one huge project that it's so cool. I just love everything about.
But you're
all of those
so
things.
good at it, and there's people that probably have struggled to even get close to what you've done and accomplished. So sometimes you gotta take a step back and look at, wow, you've done some great things and you're talented, and not everybody can do that. Not everybody even that has the talent can do that, because it's such a tough industry to get work.
Yeah.
And you did it, and you've come full circle now, it seems.
Yes.
Right? You've come full circle.
Yeah.
And now it's time for the next revolution.
Ooh. Different roles, different. Well, we'll see.
Maybe it's reinventing who you will be on camera in the future.
That's
but
it, reinventing yourself.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. People take breaks. People do take some time off to gather their thoughts, or, I feel like for a minute there I lost the love. of the arts, because of everything, the politics and the grind and it can wear you down, even the best of you, the people that have this thick skin. And when I got dropped from that agent, I was like, maybe this is my time to kind of take a step back. And that's when I focused on the photo stuff. But yeah, maybe, this is a new landscape and it's different times, and maybe this is a better time for me to come back.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think it's time for Holly Lynch
It's putting
to
a fire
come
under my
back.
butt, people.
to the world and bless the world with everything that you can give them.
Listen to him. That's sweet.
I know.
Okay.
Isn't he sweet?
Yeah.
He's
You
a
were right.
sweetheart.
You see, you said that in the beginning.
Yep.
It sounds like it should be something to spur the beginning of a new docudrama series called Holly's Back. Yes.
I think we should get Holly her own show
Oh,
on TV.
Yep. And we all can be guests.
Who would play opposite of you? So let's just say
I want to do a movie with Jennifer Garner. I've been getting her. I look like her for years.
So would you be sisters in the movie?
Yeah, I've been standing for her a couple times. I've been standing for her print wise. Like, we're always kind of crossing paths, the last 15 years. But when I was younger, I really looked like her. So I got it at coffee everywhere I went. Hey, you look like Jennifer Garner. I'm telling you, at least once a day I would get it somewhere.
Maybe you could get somebody that looks like Ben Affleck.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, but I would like to be her sister in a film. I don't know if we looked so much like each other now, but that
So
would be
tell me
really
more
cool.
about that. Tell me more about what it was like over the years, where people would kind of wonder, are you Jennifer? Tell me more about how it was to go through that over the years. And was there anybody else that they would also, like we talked about Lindsay Lohan?
Yeah.
So, but tell me more about that.
No, I got her, I would say, for 13 years at least. And I always was I was like, oh my God, thanks. Remember when she was on Alias? I
Yes.
loved that show. I thought she was a badass. Like, I
She
really
was a
liked her roles.
badass.
I liked her career.
She was bad.
So I was very much, I felt privileged that someone would even think I was in that realm. So I was always just like, wow, that's so cool. And it always made me feel like I belonged in front of the camera when someone would say those things. Like, oh, you look like that person, or, oh, are you an actor, which made me feel really good. Funny enough, excuse me, I went to a pet shop a couple months ago, and this woman says, are you a celebrity? Do I know you? And I started laughing. I was like, wow, I haven't gotten that in a long time. I was like, whoa. And I go, you look familiar too. Are you in casting? And she goes, yeah. And she's a commercial casting. And she goes, well, what's up with your career? Where have you been? And I kind of, in a nutshell, told her just a little bit that I've been taking a step back. And she goes, well, if you ever want to come back, I'll gladly get you an agent like this. Like,
Wow.
come back. And I was like, whoa, and obviously all my friends, like you were like, oh, this is a sign. You got to come back. Like, you got to.
People come to California praying that happens to them.
Sure.
Yeah.
And there you go, just like that.
Well, she did a lot.
She did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and she probably casted me in some stuff. That's how she probably recognized me. Not that I was a celebrity, obviously not, but, and yeah, and I go, I just need to get some new headshots. But that's my thing. It's there's always an excuse for me to not come back around. I don't know if it's maybe I'm afraid of real rejection, or I'm afraid of getting back to that grind and how it would affect me. I mean, I don't know. But
So if you could play anybody in a film, who would it be?
come on, that's a lot.
Who would it be? Who would you?
Why not Jennifer Garner in Alias? How long did that show run for? She was a badass agent in that thing. Spoke all those languages. She was cool. That was a great series. I loved that series. I'd redo that. Let's redo that.
Let's do it. The new
Alien.
and improved Alias.
Older.
Better,
Yeah.
more refined, more
There you go.
intelligent.
Wait a minute. This sounds like the beginning of narrative of the $6 Million Man. We will rebuild him. We will
Better, stronger, faster.
Gosh. 2.0.
You're going to be better
Alias 2.0.
than her. You're going to be stronger than her. You're going to be better looking than her.
The $6
You are
Million
better.
Alien.
Actually, you are better looking than her.
That's sweet.
And faster, yes.
She's great. She's freaking great. But yeah,
She's good looking too.
there's so
Jennifer,
many.
don't get me wrong, but
She's amazing.
But Holly is incredible.
There are so many awesome films out there and TV roles, and there's just so much stuff. I auditioned for The Walking Dead like 6 times. Never got on it, and I was like, I wanted to be on that show
Why?
so bad.
Why did you want to be on
It was
that
a
show?
very popular series.
Yeah, it's
I remember
raw,
watching
man.
it.
I want to
It's
be
great.
out there with no makeup on and roughing it up with guns and.
You wanted to
in
get
that.
out there like what you look like when you get out of bed in the morning.
Sure,
That's
yeah.
right. Okay.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a
I just want to
spirit.
be, I want to be like a badass on that show. I just really wanted to do that, be that rough kind of, that role. But I never got on it.
Yeah.
And I also auditioned for Entourage 6 times, but the 6th time I got it.
They canceled that, didn't they?
They did. That's
Yeah,
an
sure.
old school thing.
Sure.
But it's kind of funny that you can audition for something for that many times. And then I was like, I got it.
If there was a retro show
Yeah.
before you were in the career, right?
Oh.
Before you were an actress,
Yeah.
going back to childhood, if there was a retro show that you could have been in, what show would it be?
Wonder Years.
Yeah.
Would it be Wonder
Yeah,
Years?
that's kind of cool. I love that
Would
show.
you be Winnie?
Wonder Woman. I mean, come on. There's all kinds of stuff.
She would be Winnie on Wonder Years.
Yeah, Winnie.
Yeah, Winnie
Yeah.
Cooper. Yeah,
You got Seventh Heaven. Remember Jessica Biel, Seventh Heaven?
Seventh
That made
Heaven.
her career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would the show be? Tell me.
I don't know.
There's got to be one show that sticks out when you were a kid that
30-something.
you would.
You
say,
know what
"Oh,
show I
I'd-
really liked that wasn't actually scripted? Do you remember In Living Color?
Yes.
Yes. Jim Carrey.
Carrey? Hell yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That is so fun. That would have
Yeah.
been cool. I don't have that
Sketch
kind of
comedy.
chops. Yeah, that's another beast.
By the way, speaking of Jim Carrey, would you like to star opposite of Jim Carrey?
Oh yeah, in a serious film.
Uh-huh.
I think he's an amazing.
Not in a comedy.
I mean, that's what he's known for, right? But he does some. I just saw The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind not that long ago. Again, great film. I like it when comedians, just super. These comedy guys do stuff like that. Like Will Ferrell, he's done some really cool, deep films that I really like. Adam Sandler, same thing.
Bill Murray.
Yeah, 100%.
Perfect example.
Yep.
Yep.
Would you star opposite of me?
What kind of actor are you?
I don't know what kind do you want me to be?
Let's be on Alias. Let's be badasses. I can see you like
Who would I
running
be
around
on
with a
Alias?
gun.
But what would I be
Some
on
special
Alias?
op. My partner.
A special op?
Yeah.
I don't know. That doesn't sound like it's a big role.
You got a lot of weapons.
Special op, like just one of the guys in the group, or am I
No.
like the main guy?
Yeah, main guy.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can be, Jack Bauer in 24.
I could
do
do that.
that.
Yes,
That's cool too.
could-
I like all those kind of shows.
you can be in that with me.
Cool.
I drove Kiefer Sutherland actually once, a long time ago when I was a chauffeur. Nice
Oh,
guy.
he's great.
Yeah.
Was he
kind
drunk
of,
then?
What kind of a tipper was he?
Was he drunk then?
No, I think he was getting drunk while I was waiting for him in the limo.
Right, yeah, because he was kind of a mess back then. A friend of mine was at the Standard Hotel, and my buddy was swimming, and he had like a little Speedo on. It was yellow, and Keither comes in, wasted, slaps him on the ass, and says, "Oh, I like the color yellow," and slaps him so hard on the ass. And he was like, "Was that?" They ended up talking, and he was wasted. He's like, "I'm gonna leave now," and he's like, "You cannot go. You cannot go." And he had a yellow Lamborghini, and he's like, "You're gonna get pulled over in that thing. Please do not drive home." And he got pulled over. Got
Yeah.
a DUI that night.
He didn't listen.
I
pretty
think
funny.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was a huge deal that he got pulled over and the whole thing. But yeah, he had slapped my friend's ass before that happened,
God.
which is pretty funny. It's a pretty funny story.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, he's lucky that he didn't get written up for that. you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Right.
got me too.
Yeah.
I would have laughed if that happened to me. I'd have been like, what, as a guy, I'd have been like, what? What?
But you wouldn't have laughed if he had done that to you also at that time.
I don't know. Maybe I would have. I'd been like, what the hell was that? No, I probably would have been like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, we were just talking about this. I had my Weinstein moment in Sundance. He did that to me.
Weinstein. Oh,
Yep.
well.
And I was like, ew, what the hell was that? And I just, I didn't really think about it.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that situation.
I feel like at the time, so much of that stuff was going on, and we just took it. We didn't say anything. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, that's just the business. So many things like that happened to me that I was just like, that was insane and not okay. And you just kind of like, what are you supposed to do? That guy's this huge mountain, and you're just like this little person that means nothing, you know? I'm glad he's in jail, and I'm glad everyone spoke up. I had a friend of mine who was a part of that in the beginning, and she, you know, had this horrible experience, and I'm glad that she got justice for that. You know, I know some people that did some stuff to me and that are out there, nothing happened to them.
Oh no,
Setting.
something's happening to them, but you just don't see it.
Karma.
Yes, exactly. There's no way they can get away. Anyone can get away with anything. They just wish that they did.
There you go. Yeah, it sucks. Business, you know,
anyway,
that's another thing. You know, people coming in at a young age, but I feel like now it's way better now than it was then. So I wouldn't be afraid of kids entering this field now. Maybe for the mind, but not for anything else. You just need a good team. You know what I mean? That's why, going back to Jen, she, you know, helps you to the right place and the right people. You know, I think that's important. I wish I had someone like that. Well, I did. I had her, but I wish I had like a guide, and you know, like that's specifically for that, to tell you who to stay away from, what to do, what's not okay, what is okay.
She sounds like she would have made it also a good combination manager agent.
Why not? I'm telling her to come back. Please, Jen, if you're watching this, come back. Be my manager. I'll get back into the business immediately.
So we're going to get her on this show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you have
And you're
to.
going to be on that episode with us.
Fabulous.
And we'll put you opposite of her so you can converse, and we will live stream talking her back into the industry.
Amazing.
Ooh, I can feel the pressure building up.
I know, right? I'm going to tell her about this. The Holly,
And
the
then
Holly
you're going
prep.
to act like you're the closer.
Yep.
I don't know if you like that show, but you'll act
Yeah.
like you're the closer, and you're
Cool.
going to close her on that.
Fabulous.
And you're just going to sit there and be like this, and you're going to tell it to her. What do you
Be
think?
like, let's do it. Let's make money again. Let's book all the stuff again.
I'm all
She
for
was
let's
fabulous.
making money again. Let's make money.
Yeah.
Let's make movies. Let's make TV.
Yeah.
Let's make
Let's create.
magic.
Do some fun stuff.
We're in Tinseltown. Well, technically we're in Beverly Hills right now, but it's close to Tinseltown, and this is where it all happens. This is
Exactly.
the capital of the world.
This is where all the Tinseltown stars come to live.
That's
eventually.
right. A
Isn't
lot
there a
of
big
tinsel
agency down the street too?
in Beverly Hills.
Isn't ICM over here?
Yeah.
No, they moved.
So, what's your favorite ice cream?
Oh, is this the closer question?
Could be.
Ooh, I like. This might come as a surprise. I'm just kidding. Mint.
Like mint
like
chocolate
chocolate.
chip?
Yep.
I love mint chocolate
It's my
chip.
favorite.
I
It's
like
so
that
good, and
too,
if you
yeah.
get and they do it right, oh man,
The white mint or the green mint?
the green mint,
The green mint. The green is
the
the
old
best.
school green mint.
Yes.
with whipped cream and everything.
No, just plain, just like that.
Wait a minute. I heard that was one of Weinstein's pickup lines. What kind of ice cream do you like?
Whipped cream or that?
I never heard of that.
Oh God, what a gross dude. Jesus.
You know. Well, anyway, last night I was so tired. And I took this product from Papa and Barkley, the Relief Tincture. But I
She's doing a
didn't-
plug right now.
I didn't get high on it. I didn't
And-
OD
oh,
on it.
darn
What's
it.
CBD?
This is a
Yeah.
CBD. It's
Yeah.
it's sublingual, so you put a drop under your tongue, and your sublingual gland
love
will
it.
will embrace this.
I should have taken it last
you
night.
get this euphoric kind of feeling.
It's euphoric,
I had the
And this
worst
is
night's
really
sleep
great
last
if you
night.
have arthritis like I do.
and I need this
Rad.
For your
for my
fingers
back,
and
my
everything.
knees, everything, because like all my joints are shot now.
Ah,
And if I rub this on there, I'm
My
just
neck.
gonna rub a
My
little
back.
bit.
it sounds almost like
Put
an
it
easy
up.
button.
Song.
My elbow,
Yeah.
because every now and then my elbow starts to lock up and bother me.
My elbow and
Is
my
that, is that
joints.
from playing tennis?
I don't know.
Or handball? Or racquetball?
I don't know. Something else maybe. I don't know.
What's this called? Relief Balm. Yep.
Relief
You guys,
balm.
Yep.
Relief balm.
And this is my favorite. Relief Repair Cream.
I got her to laugh. I got Holly to
Oh
laugh.
my God.
I've been waiting
What is
the
happening?
whole show to get Holly to
Let me see
laugh,
this.
This is really good
and
for
I
your
did
face.
it.
Your
She's
skin.
been laughing quite a bit. on
Yeah, I've
that
been
so
laughing.
far,
See, he's been
yeah.
seeing me.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
Laughing.
She loves to laugh.
Yeah.
Laughing is my favorite thing. And also, that's my favorite quality in a man.
Who can make you laugh?
Laughing.
Who laughed?
He just made me laugh.
Yeah. Yep.
I just keep going back to him.
Watch out, Chris. Watch out.
I'm rubbing this cream all over my body.
Jesus. This is a different show than when we started. And this is like, we're coming full circle, just like you said.
We've come full circle now. 360
You
degrees.
smell great. Mm-hmm. Now we're rubbing our bodies with the bombs.
We're getting all lubricated now. As we ease our way into the next show.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought this was a PG rated show.
Yeah.
It was, but as we ease our way in slowly to the next show.
This sounds like a Weinstein vibe here.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
Come to my hotel room.
Take a deep breath.
Take off your shirt and let's get going.
Exhale
Go to my
slowly.
hotel room and take some pictures.
Yeah.
And trust me, you'll enjoy this.
I'm in a robe. Cool. What? Come into the shower. What?
Come to the shower.
Yeah.
Oh, don't mind this.
I'm just gonna get ready while you
Doctor's
stand
orders.
here.
Can you imagine one of these vampires on the show that you'd love to be on?
Yeah.
Who would say that? Come into my shower.
Yeah.
Yes. Ooh.
Gross.
I think I saw a show like that once. Like
These are great. I love CBD products.
Like driving Miss Daisy, and he said to her like, "How about you and I go come back to our home, and then we get into the shower." I say, "I thought this is driving Miss Daisy." He said, "No, I mean drying Miss Daisy."
Oh boy.
Hi, Miss Daisy.
That's cute. That's cute.
That's a great joke right there.
That was,
Yeah.
Was that on Cinemax at night?
No,
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
so.
Skinemax.
It's a long
Skinemax?
time ago. I think it's maybe
Is
on
that still a thing?
ABC
So-
or something.
That sounds like a joke.
I will
I'd hear
never
on
be on
YouTube.
No, it's the
Skinemax.
Dear John, the show
That's
called
not where my
Dear John
career's going.
by Judge Hush.
Hopefully not. That's
called
right.
Dear
Not that.
John.
Not
Dear
there.
John.
I'm not
Yeah,
going
you
there.
remember that show a long time ago?
yeah.
They
With
called-
Judd Hirsch. I remember
Yeah,
Dear John.
Dear John with
did
Judge
it.
Hush. And, they went to
Dear
group
John's new.
therapy, and the guy that he called himself, or he told some young, beautiful girl, and he's a film producer. And he's Kurt or something, the guy that's really funny, he's kind of perverted.
Is it perverted guy? You're producer.
Trying Miss Daisy.
Interesting.
That's cute. That would be something I would expect to see on YouTube.
Yeah.
No, this
So
is
now I got to
long
ask
time.
Holly because
I was
she.
in high school or college.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So earlier we talked about Holly turned down an audition. She had a lot of peer pressure from her agent about this audition that she didn't really like it in taste. It was full nudity, vulgarity. But
Ooh, ouch.
so we're talking about drying Miss
Threesome.
Daisy. So did you ever get asked to audition for like a Cinemax late at night soft core movie?
No. Nope.
I think I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Would you ever take a role in that type of movie?
No.
And not even depending on who the director might be.
Well, why the hell is he doing one of these movies?
I don't know. Maybe he's starting out.
If Martin Scorsese called you up one.
Well, I mean, that's a different story.
Okay. just want to clarify that.
There's a time and a place for many things. Like I was just mentioning Monster, right? Charlize in Monster. She's naked in that thing. That role called for it, and that was amazing, and she won an Oscar for it. But I'm not trying to do some role like that one I was talking about. It's just not,
So long as
Right.
they guarantee that you'll win an Oscar, you'll consider it.
yeah. If an Oscar's involved and Emmy's involved, yeah, we'll talk about it. Well, I'm not opposed to doing some forms of nudity, but it has to be for the right reasons, the right
Very
project, the right
Tasteful.
yeah, the right
Tasteful,
dialogue, the right
yes.
in that moment, or for what it is, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have been in a film that wasn't great, that I did show some nudity. Do I regret it? I think at the time I was just like, screw it, like I'm gonna face my fear because I was really scared of doing that. And now, like, my uncle was like, "Oh, I watched that movie," and I was like, "Oh God, sorry."
Your uncle
He
told
was,
you.
yeah, he was surprised.
What kind of nudity was it?
I show my boobs in it. That's it. But
Okay.
still, it's pretty bad.
Was it like just quick, like real fast? Like, did I just see?
Yeah,
what I
it was
saw?
like this is so embarrassing, but it was like a scene in a club where the person, I'm great friends with him and his wife, by the way, so it was like not awkward because it was him, but it was still awkward because it was on camera. But like it's from the side, and he's doing like coke off my chest, like right here. And they're letting you pour champagne on me a little bit. It's just,
Wow.
I know, it's
Now that's-
ridiculous.
That's very creative.
Holly.
It's ridiculous. I got paid pretty good for that,
I hope
and I
so.
got the bump. You
We
get the
hope
nudity
so,
bump
right?
for
You get the
that.
nudity bump. You get paid extra. The more naked you are, you get paid more.
I did not know that. I thought it was just
Yes.
like a one fee, but
Well, now you know. Now
I
you know what
Not-
to
yeah.
ask for the next time.
But would I
around,
do
right?
that now? If that was offered to me now? No, hell no. No. I was in a completely different headspace back then when I did that. I would never do that now for that.
Not even if it was one of those scenes like Woody Allen did with the cocaine on the coffee table, and he blew it. What was it,
Amazing.
Annie Hall.
Well,
I
yeah,
think it
that's
was, yeah.
different. I mean, obviously, yeah. Heck yeah. I love that. Yeah. I'm not
People
against
pay me
doing
to keep
coke
my
and stuff like that
clothes
on
on.
camera. It's just,
So
yeah.
what am I doing wrong? People actually pay me to keep, like, just cover up more. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I get paid
Get
more.
behind that
Yeah,
table
stand
over there.
behind that wall
Right.
and just stay there the whole production.
Yeah.
Oh, it's weird when I think about it now.
Well-
yeah. I mean, it's on VO. It didn't go anywhere. It's just one of those
What was
movies.
the name of it?
I'm not saying that.
I could look it up.
Yes, he can.
It's
look.
on IMDb.
By the way, there is a thing that you could look that up. You can say Holly Lynch nude or whatever that is, and it would probably
George?
come up. And do not do it.
No,
I bet you it would come up though. And
No,
there's
we won't
sites
do
for
it
that
yet.
where you can pull up like there's sites for that where you can type in the actor and they'll show you those.
What do you think about those sites where they supposedly have all these celebrities nude? Do you
Oh.
do you think it's photoshopped?
Yeah.
So
I
it's
think a
their
lot of it's
face
photoshopped,
on
yeah.
a body?
I'm sure there's some of that out there of me too.
More
Not real.
There's a lot of
Because I've been looking for
doubling.
mine and
Yeah.
I can't find any. Like nobody wants to see me naked. I mean,
Well,
looking
hey,
for mine.
don't feel bad. My wife always used to think that I looked better with the mask on. Okay.
Oh my god.
I'd be like that.
He's kidding.
Maybe he's not.
Some people are into masks though. So
Yeah.
maybe she was really.
It's what kind of mask?
You know, one of these,
Kinky.
one of the,
Yeah,
the,
the K95s.
the medical masks for the, for the pandemic thing.
Oh, okay.
You want to see something really funny? Type in Holly Lynch feet. That's a thing too. No, it's a real like.
Are you a
there's-
foot model?
No, but I've had my feet in photos, and there's like sites out there. Look at that.
Well,
celeb feet.
So then you are a foot model.
Celeb feet. Go back to the where you can look at the
Is that you? bent over
URLs?
Like this?
not the images, but like
Well, why would your feet?
yeah, look
be-
at that Holly Lynch feet.
Oh, yeah. I know somebody who's a foot model. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a no.
has
These
very
are
nice
just
feet.
I think weirdos.
Uh.
Oh, that's weird. Maybe they took it down. Anyways, there are sites where you can go and look at people's feet.
Let me see your feet. I was looking at them earlier because I like the color of your
My nail polish.
nail polish.
Ah.
Is that a like lavender?
Yep.
Nice. You have nice feet. Yes,
Well,
I can
Thanks.
see why you could
Just
be
stop it.
One of
a
Chris's.
celebrity foot person.
Don't look at my feet.
That's just one of my fetishes.
One of,
Don't
yeah, I
worry
was just
about
going to say one of Chris's many fetishes. There, yes. Thank you for sharing that, Chris.
He
We
knew
all
about
have
the
them.
feet thing. He just didn't want to say it.
it. We all have.
He was the one that
fetishes.
started that site. I mean, people are making money doing that now. Look at that, the OnlyFans and all kinds of. Yeah, look at this. They show pictures of me where my feet are naked in it.
Very
Like no shoes.
I like that.
So weird, man.
What do you, speaking about naked feet, what do you think about Tarantino always having feet in his movies?
Does he?
Yeah, and a lot of times
Maybe that's
the
his
bottom of the foot of the actress will be like dirty, like they were walking around a lot,
thing. Yeah,
and they're dirty, like dirty feet.
my
you
feet
know?
are dirty all the time.
He always seems to have naked, dirty feet in his movies.
Maybe
That's
because
real.
he's walking around without shoes on.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's-
I have
don't
hardwood
know.
floors all through my
Down to
house,
that.
so my feet can't get dirty.
Do you like being barefoot all the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
you know, you're really starting to get personal here. You know, I think we got to keep this on the PG level here.
Talk about feet now. Hey, people are so desperate. You know that's a huge thing now.
Feet.
People are selling feet pictures. People are look at this. Look at this. Oh, there you go. I did not know that. Quentin Tarantino's foot fetish explained a history of his obsession with feet.
I told you
Whoa,
about Tarantino. I wasn't lying. You know.
you have a foot thing. That's why you know all this.
Well, it's just following his films,
joking.
and you know, he uses a lot of undertones in his movies, and but I think directors and writers will bring in real stuff from their lives, of what they're interested in, or
Right.
you know, mesmerized
Those are
by,
nice feet.
and they bring it into their art. I mean,
That's
art
cool.
is about bringing what you
Some
have
people have one
inside.
thing. Hitchcock, remember, isn't always in his films. There's one, you know.
It's true.
And now what's his name's doing it too. M.
Tarantino?
Night.
Is he?
Yeah, he's an actor in all his films. Oh, it was some little part.
He's always got something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
Well,
What, George? What are we?
It's
What's
looking
that
at
picture
feet.
over there to the right? What is that?
Is that what what you looked at and said? I did not even see
I
that.
was looking at Get Fit, and then I,
I
see
did
that.
not even see that.
So, okay.
You know him.
Craigslist, everybody.
Holy
Go on
crap. And we
Craigslist.
told him to
Yeah.
look at. We
It was
told
a
him to look
beautiful
for this.
57 Chevy.
Oh my god.
George, always remember to look under the hood.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm like super red now.
Okay. I think we got Holly to blush.
Yeah, it looks
She
like you
is
should
red
have.
now.
You do not want to see what I just saw.
She
You
is
look like
red.
you should have put on sunscreen.
Exactly. Oh my god.
But we didn't know. But who was it? Anybody we
Wasn't
know?
me. 100% was
don't
not
know.
me.
Yeah.
I'm just putting that out there, everybody.
Are you talking about those feet
Oh god.
or something else?
Oh,
See, I like
gosh.
doing projects like this. See my neon photos right there?
I like it.
Yeah, you can pull that up. And I do a lot of, I like just thinking about little projects and just doing a whole series on the projects.
So what ideas would you have for me then if we do a layout together?
You said you needed some I liked your idea of like going in the streets and taking some pics, like
Yeah,
some
like
darker.
downtown,
yeah.
in the alley, the
Let's
dirty
do it.
streets. Okay.
They want me to put my hair up and my gray grow out.
There, I like it. Let's do it.
There you go. I think we're brainstorming.
We're
here.
brainstorming here, yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
Another question for you. What is your favorite color?
Blue.
I was going to guess blue
What
because that's my
kind?
favorite
Yeah.
color.
Us,
So.
see? Blue is
Well,
very common.
You can probably
Favorite
guess
color.
it's my favorite
Yeah,
color.
you're wearing
Baby
blue too.
blue, turquoise blue.
That's like peacock blue. I love it.
Uh-huh.
blue.
Like in the, I always love peacocks and they're like the colors they had and they're the
Have you
blues.
been to the Hollywood Cemetery? By the way, speaking of peacocks lately?
They are?
Yes, they're
I've been
all
to
over the
movies
place there.
there.
They're all over the place there. I was working in a TV project there for a while back.
Oh, that's cool.
And they had these peacocks all over the cemetery. They just let them run wild.
Amazing.
Wherever they want to go. It's incredible.
I would want a peacock stomping over my grave.
We have wild peacocks.
You wouldn't know it. Who
Yeah.
cares, right?
We have wild peacocks up where I live, and they'll come in my front lawn. One got in my backyard once, but they run all over the place. And the males are the
Yeah,
ones
look at these.
that are the most colorful. That's
Yeah.
how they
Pull up the
attract
baby.
Just like the
females.
male ducks.
Have you
Yeah.
seen a baby peacock?
I don't believe I have.
No one has, but I saw a picture of one recently and it was amazing.
So you like the color blue.
No, this is not it.
It's funny
Maybe
how
the one I saw was fake.
Look at the baby costume. peacock.
it's so strange. It doesn't seem like the male peacock should be a female, and just like the male
Well, it's like
duck
the
should be a
ladybug.
female.
The
Right?
same thing, the ladybugs. Did you know that the males are the ones with the spots and the females don't have any?
I didn't know that.
True
Very
story.
interesting, isn't it? Fascinating, actually.
And the peacock, the more attractive one are the male.
Yeah.
They do that to attract the female. The female peacock is not as attractive. They just need to be really attractive.
Yeah.
The female can go for them.
Guys need to show them their feathers.
Well, Holly, I'm so glad that we had you on the show today.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
Holly.
you for taking
Thank
your,
you so much.
Yeah.
It's been really
your time
fun.
out on Sunday to
Fabulous.
spend some time here on Filtered 90211. And
It's been
I
very,
really
uh,
enjoyed the conversation.
I was just going to say, it's
Thank
been
you.
very very refreshing.
Dang it. I can't wait to come back with my
Yes.
agent, Jen.
Oh,
and
yes.
We're going to work on that.
Yes.
talking about
ASAP.
what
We
I'm
all look
doing.
forward to meeting
My new
her.
agent, yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
my new career.
I guess we ending now, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Filter 90211. I'm Tiffany Rothman and my wonderful co-host, Chris Slone, and with Holly Lynch today and Sean Francis. Good afternoon.
That was great. This guy. Split screen, this would be great.
Whoops.
That was me.
I guess. We move this now, right? Let's take some pictures.
I know. I always thought it was a conga at first, too, when I saw it. It's a mini conga.
I know, this is like when your skin is dry, face